Hi, and welcome back to Harriet's Computer Art Plus. This is the version that I came up with from looking at your picture. You basically just look at the picture and repeat what you see layer by layer. So first I just make a blank. Then I'm going to take that bill that we already made and I'll make about 12 copies of it. So I just pulled it up from the bottom. Now I'm going to go here, hit copy. I'm going to paste it about 12 times. Just by clicking 12 times or more. And then I'm just going to start placing the money, turning some of them. I want, of course, the amount shown in some of the areas. And you're just going to move these over anywhere you want them. And make sure to turn them all so they'll all be a little different. And you just want to strategically place the portions of the bill that you want to be shown in the areas that you want it shown. So I'm going to turn one of these a little bit so that it can break up some of the same angles. So now you have your bills placed. You're just going to go here to cut out in picture, add a colored shape. You can leave it whatever color you want for now. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and hit pink because that's about the pink that I needed. I'm going to hit done. Then I'm going to take that and I'm going to stretch that so that I'm covering up all of the pictures, all of the dollars or whatever bill is behind there. Now I'm going to go over here to special effects, make transparent, which is the third choice here on the top. You're going to just slide the slider over until you get it to about the same opacity as it is on the sample that you have. And as you can see, as you slide it more over, it becomes totally disappears. And then if you pull it back toward the left, it gradually becomes opaque. So that looks like about the same opacity as the picture you had. I'm going to hit done. Next, I'm going to go once again to cut out a picture, add a colored shape. This time I'm just going to make it white for now. I can change it to a pink hue later, or I can do the pink hue by going to more color choices. Actually, I want to change this one from correct tint. So I'm going to go ahead and go to cut out in picture, add a color shape, which is the last choice here on the top row. I'm going to change it to white for now. And then I'm going to just place it about where this piece in your example is placed. Now before I go any further, I'm going to put if you're using this as an invitation, and I think you said you were, and you want it to fold, or if you want to put two on one sheet, you should first put a guideline here. So to put the guideline here, you go to size and position, alignment guide, and drop a vertical guide. So now you see where your page splits in half. So if you wanted to make two of these on one page like a postcard invitation, you could, or if you want it to be a folding invitation, I'm going to set it up like a folding invitation, but it'll be very easy to change it to just one flat sheet or the postcard style. So I'm just going to bring this over and I'm just eyeballing it by looking at your example. Now to make these edges fuzzy, I'm going to go here to Edge Effects. I'm going to go to the last choice in the top row, Soft Edges. I'm going to click that and then I'm just going to start sliding this over. I can slide it over as much as I want because I want to get this feathery edge around it so that the edge kind of melts into the background. So I'm just going to keep going over, and the more you go over, the more this edge becomes feathered. I have it on 35 right there, but 100% takes it down like that. So you see, it just feathers the edge the more you go, but it'll leave some white. So I'm going to put this back on 35 because I think that one worked well. And I'm going to hit done. And I'm just going to pull from any corner on this to resize it. It's looks like it's a little less shadowy on this side, so maybe I'll take that down, the edge softness down just a little bit. So I'm just gonna click on it, go back to edge, effects, hit soft edge, and then I'm going to hit on the down arrow just to take down that softness a bit around the edge. Okay, that looks a little better. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball and try to make this line up like your example. Your example had a little more pink on the bottom, I think, and I think the top is okay. So now I'm going to go to touch up, correct tint, and I'm going to make this more pink rather than white. So I just pull this over toward the pink side of the circle, and now I'm just going to drag the slider over just to change that hue to more of a pink. And the more I go over, the more pink it's going to become. And I think it was about, it's about that pink, but I need to add in a little orange to get it to the right shade of pink. So I'm just adding in some orange, and that looks like it's just about what I see in your picture. Now I found I could only find one lady without without a watermark, which meant it was free to use. So I found her. I cropped her out of her white background, and I'm just going to drop her in this corner. Now you can always, if you need to reposition some of these bills so that you're seeing more of what you want to see, all you do is you can click on this row and find the ones that you want to resize or change the position of, or you can, since this is easily movable, you can just slide that down so you don't have to go through all that trouble, and then you could get some more areas that you want the bills. If the bills aren't showing like you want, then you just pull that back up to cover it up again, that overlay. That's what that's called. Okay, so this area is kind of blank, so if I wanted to, I could, reposition this, but you get the picture. You can arrange them any way you want to. Just, of course, you want to show some of those bill amounts on there. I think I can adjust this one underneath her a little more so that the bill is showing. So I'm just going to bring that over so that that money sign is showing, and then I'm going to drag this back to cover it again. So now you're all set to just add your wording. Also, you can add a shadow to her to make her seem like she's, casting a shadow standing here in front of this square. So I just click on her and I go to Special Effects Shadow. I'm going to just do a soft shadow. You could drop it out a little bit, then customize it by hitting Customize the Shadow, soften it up some, and then I'll make it a little less noticeable. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Done. And then from here, it's up to you as to what text you want to use. I tried to find texts that were the closest to this one, and for where she has dream, or where dream is on that one, I found one on mine, and it's going to be whatever font you use will be what's on your computer. These are just the ones I happen to have. So I'm going to click in this box that says Arial and hit an R, and it's going to take me down to the fonts that begin with the R. And I just looked for a script font. I'm going to go ahead and type Dream like it's typed there in small letters, and I'm going to resize it. It's too thick by looking at yours, so I'm going to take bold off by clicking on the B here. And now I have just Dream. I can make it bigger because she has it, or whoever made this one had it a little bigger. And I'll drag it across her hair like the other lady did, or the other person did, whoever made it. Okay, and now I need to put that pink edge around it. So I'm going to go to Apply Special Effect, Highlight Edge. I'm going to choose the thick edge. I'm going to bring it down some because it's not that thick in your picture. And this is literally how I taught myself to do graphic design. I would look at images in a magazine or on a flyer and just get on my computer and try to reproduce it. And that's exactly how I taught myself to do graphic design. Okay, so now I have this pink, but in your picture it looks like it's a little more red. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the more color choices. I'm going to once again click in that pink so that I'll have the initial pinkness, and then I'm going to start dragging it over to the orange side to make it more red, which is what the edge looks like in yours. I'm going to hit Done, done again, and done again. Done one more time. So now this writing is too white, so I'm gonna change that color a bit because it's more like this color, and it needs to be a little lighter than that, but I'm gonna start with that. So I just click to um, more color choices, and it gave me my dropper, and then I just clicked in that pink area. I'm gonna hit done and done. But now to lighten this up a bit because it's a little lighter, I'm gonna go up here like I showed you in the first half making the dollar. I'm gonna go up here to touch up brightness and contrast, and I'll brighten it here because it was already as bright as it could be under change color. So I'm just going to brighten it up a bit so that it shows up a little better. I think that's a little too much. Take some of the pink out so that it'll be lighter than this one. I'm going to hit done. And then for the other text, I can't read what all it says. It was all, I found another text similar, and I'm going to go to add a text box. Click the first box to add text, and I'm going to this cursive will work. So I'm just gonna, it's the same writing. I'm gonna drop it up here, but I will lighten it up a bit more again. Let me see if I can lighten it here. It's already on 100 here, so I'm gonna have to go back to click done. Then I'm gonna go back up here to touch up brightness, and I'm just gonna brighten it up here so that it shows up more. Alright, next I need to write birthday in there or whatever you're going to put on there, and I'm going to look for a font that looks close to that, and the one that I found, once again I'm going to add a text box, and I'm going to choose this Roche font and type all caps birthday. I don't know if you're going to be using, this in a similar way, but that's just how you do it. And this one I'm going to hit done, and once again I'm going to go up to touch up, correct tint, and I'm just going to brighten that up more as well. And last, all you need to do is add in the font down here, and you can use the same one that you used for this. Just click on it, hit copy and paste, go to paint and color effects. You're going to go this time to fill with the solid color, which is the red star, the second choice in the second row. And I'm going to just change this all the way to white by clicking over here all the way bringing that little ball all the way over into the white section. Hit done. Bring that up. I'll change that to a regular font. So I'm going to go to, Arial is a good regular font to go with. It was kind of thick also, like the font that's shown in the picture. I'm going to shrink that down a little bit. If I need to elongate it a little, I can. And I'm just going to type what's already on here on the master that you were using. I think it's at starter. So you put that there, and then for this one you can just paste. I'll do just a couple to show you, and then I'm going to just group them together, those two, just by dragging from one corner of the text box to the other, and then I'm going to change their color at the same time to this darker pink. It's actually more of the reddish pink, so I'll click there, and it's a little darker. So I'm going to not group them. I'm grouping them, but I'm not locking them together. I'm going to go back to, I'm just changing the color at the same time. So I'm going to darken that a bit, just like in your example, and drag them over. Oops. Shrink them down a little bit. And if you are making this, I think, is a menu. If you are going to do that menu, just put all these, line them up like you want them. Do that little group click from the top left to the bottom right, hit copy, paste, and paste. So hit paste once, move those down, hit paste again, and move those down. And then of course you can resize these however you want. If you want to resize them, grab them all together, lock it, and then resize. If you don't lock it, then it's not going to keep it in this format. It'll move everything individually and it will not be in the same format. So lock it first and then resize it, then unlock it, and if you need to move them, space them farther apart, then you can do that by the dragging from the top corner and just choosing the ones you want to move together. Move those. Didn't move those that much. And then move these so that you're spacing them pretty evenly apart. And there you have it.